How is the real estate market nationally, in California, and in Napa Valley? I get that question quite a bit. You're in a great spot to get the answers to those questions. Stick around. Thank you for joining me on my newly revived YouTube channel. I'm Lee W. Miller, realtor focusing on primarily the Napa and Sonoma County areas. And I'm going to answer some of the questions that I get on a regular basis about the market. Are we going to have a crash? Is there going to be a market correction? You know, I study this pretty frequently. I read various economists' take on the market, and I can tell you with a fair degree of certainty from all of the sources that I research that we are not going to experience a crash anything like we did in 2008. There were forces at play in that market that we simply just don't have today. Subprime loans were at an all-time high. Something like 40% of the loans were subprime. People were getting loans for 120% of the home's value. They were walking away from buying a house with cash in their pocket. Not a sustainable model. That doesn't exist today. Less than 1% of all of the mortgages currently are subprime loans. So there's not likely going to be a crash. However, we have been on an upward trajectory since 2010, 2011, about 10 years now. So yeah, there's probably going to be a market correction, and all of the research that I have done indicate that that's probably going to be mid to late 2022 or into 23, simply caused by the Fed's increasing interest rates, which will kind of freak people out a little bit. There'll be a little bit of maybe a 5 or 10% market correction in home value prices, probably a healthy thing. My take is you gotta have a place to live, right? So you can either pay rent and try and time the market, or you just go ahead and bite the bullet and buy the house that you want. Maybe it's going to ebb and flow in value, but at least you've got a roof over your head. It's better than paying rent. You know, it's actually slowed down a little bit. Not long ago, we were in multiple offer situations on a regular basis, homes selling for well over asking price, and now homes are staying on the market just a little bit longer. I think there's been a little bit of buyer fatigue because new mortgage applications are down 18% over the last couple of months. That means people are either just taking a break and waiting until things slow down. Ironically, those people who are taking a break make it advantageous for those who are not taking a break, and they're trudging forward and they're continuing to make offers on properties. And they're being faced with acceptance versus multiple offers and counter offers. You know, you might have been on the sidelines for a while thinking that you can't buy a home yet. And to that I say, dip your toe in the water. Let me introduce you to a qualified lender that can make that assessment for you. A lot of people think they have to have 20% down in order to buy a home, and that's just not the case nowadays. There are a lot of programs that actually offer you assistance. Napa has a program depending on your income and various factors. But the best thing to do is talk to a lender, start getting your finances in order, and what you're going to find is what you qualify for. Maybe you don't qualify for anything right now because you have a couple negative marks on your credit. But that's why you need to start that process now, so that you can address those and correct those. Write letters as to what happened. Once all of that is done, then you're actually ready. And it is a good time to buy because interest rates are still historically low. I know I sound like a realtor. All realtors say that, but it really does make a difference because it increases your buying power. The average home price, say at $500,000, even 1/4 to 0.5% change in interest will increase your payment by nearly $100. So that's why it makes a big difference to give you more buying power when interest rates are as low as they are. Come back and visit my YouTube channel and I'll address more questions for you. Always want to talk about real estate anytime, and I'll answer your questions directly. Thanks for visiting. I'm Lee W. Miller. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel.